Well, in the words of Bugs Bunny, that's all, folks. Welcome to T's Multiverse. I'm your host, Tyrus, and today we're going to talk about what's going on at Warner Brothers. There's all types of stuff going on. Just saw the message from Henry Cavill stating that he will indeed not be returning as Superman, which is, it's kind of weird. It's a huge shocker to me. I mean, I know right now Warner Brothers is in the midst of a transitional period. They're trying to get their everything in order because it's been everything for years has just been up in the air, no plan, lack of direction, lack of just trying to like put something together in a cohesive manner. There's a lot that's been going on because there's the whole Patty Jenkins situation where, you know, they reported that they will not be moving forward with Wonder Woman 3. It seems like Gal Gadot's time has ended as well, possibly. And then there was this reports that she walked off the set when they tried to give her direction for that film. Then she came back and she said that's not true this week. And there's so many things that's just going on. Beast Boy is not my favorite character at all, but I wish I had his powers because to be a fly on the wall at Warner Brothers Discovery, man, it'd be something, I tell you. But this is interesting because, you know, I remember there was just so much hype and excitement over Cavill returning as Superman. You know, he appeared at the end of Black Adam. I'm sorry if this is a spoiler, but you know, there's a post-credit scene with him returning, and it seemed like they were setting up his, you know, return for future films. And there was talk about that. There was talk that he shot scenes for the Flash film and that he's going to be returning in that film as well as in other films. And apparently that wasn't the case because he ain't returning. So right now I want to read what Cavill posted on Instagram to everyone in regards to him not returning as Superman. So these are Henry Cavill's words. I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and it is sad news, everyone. I will, after all, not be returning as Superman. After being told by the studio to announce my return back in October prior to their hire, this news isn't the easiest, but that's life. The changing of the guard is something that happens. I respect that. James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with the new universe the best of luck and the happiness of fortunes. For those who have been by my side through the years, we can mourn for a bit, but then we must remember, Superman is still around. Everything he stands for still exists, and examples that he sets for us are still there. My turn to wear the cape has passed, but what Superman stands for never will. It has been a fun ride with you all. Onwards and upwards. That's class personified. And that's the thing about Cavill, man. I take my hat off to him. You know, he did a great job as Superman for what he was given. I hope that Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios will bring him on as Captain Britain. I feel like that's a perfect role for him. So hopefully they'll do that. But I feel like Cavill has been a class act throughout this whole scenario, despite, you know, it's just been a mess with him and how they have treated him. I feel at Warner Brothers, it's just been not good. But he's dealt with it, you know, with class, and I wish him the best. You know, it's so weird because, you know, you had Rock and his camp. They were saying one thing, you know, back in October, early November, but you know, with the new leadership that they have, you know, now David Zaslav, who is in charge of Warner Brothers, you know, Discovery, he appointed James Gunn as well as Peter Safran as the new heads of the Warner Brothers Studios, and that took effect November 1st. So it's you know, this whole Snyderverse and DC thing, I feel like Henry Cavill was doomed from the beginning. You know, I never bought into the Zack Snyder universe. I thought it was just, just too dark, too dreary. I thought doesn't take away from his talent. I mean, the guy is talented. I feel like he has an eye for visuals and everything, but I just don't think he ever got those DC characters, and I don't think that was the right project for him. There are some people out there who love Man of Steel. My brother, he loved Man of Steel, and there's other people out there who want to say Snyderverse, bring Snyderverse back, and all that stuff like that. But overall, the reception for Man of Steel was not good. It made some money. Yes, it did, but it should have done way better than it did. You talking about Superman, one of the greatest, if not the greatest characters of all time. You got to do better than that. And I just don't think Zack Snyder's version of Superman embodied that hope and that light that everyone knows Superman to be. And I feel that Henry Cavill knew that as well. I feel like, he saw that wasn't the Superman that he wanted to play. I've read reports from him, and kind of picking off things and seeing that, he understood that, though that wasn't the Superman that he wanted to play, he had a job to do. But moving forward, he wanted to bring that Superman who was full of hope and light to fruition for the fans. With this whole situation with him not returning, I feel bad for him. Because I just feel like Cavill never got a chance to play the Superman that he wanted to play and that the fans wanted to see him play. He did his job. He played the version that Zack Snyder wanted him to play. Then they brought him back for Batman v Superman. They kill him off, which was ridiculous. You bring him back for Batman v Superman. You kill him off. Then he had to go through that whole fiasco with, the Josh Whedon cut, and they had to, CGI off his mustache, and that was just, everyone just took to social media, and that just did not, boil over well. And there was all the controversy with that film. Then he comes back to promote the Snyder Cut. He plays ball. He said, okay, he promoted the Snyder Cut. And they brought him back for that. He came back to do whatever he needed to do for that. And, I felt like he was a team player, throughout this whole scenario. And, I just feel bad for him. I feel like he never got the chance. But, on the flip side, James Gunn and Peter Safran, they are in the midst of really, mapping out, by their reports, the next 10 years of the DC universe. And that's exciting. For the first time as a fan, I feel that DC actually is going to do something. They're working on a plan, and that's been the problem for years, and I've never understood that. Why do they not have a plan? And it's just so weird how, they have the greatest characters and all of these stories, and they do an excellent job with their animated division. They have some of the great, DC has some of the greatest animated movies and cartoons, but they just could never get their act together when it comes to the live action films. And it's just really weird. Consistently over the years, it's just been lack of a plan, lack of a direction, lack of a cohesive cinematic universe. And it's been weird. And I never could understand that. How could you have great animated movies and cartoons, but you don't know what to do with your live action films and your TV shows? It's been the oddest thing, and I just never could understand it at all. But now with this new leadership, hopefully, and I feel that things will be better. Yes, there will be some things, and even James Gunn said this, they can't please everybody, and I get that. But I feel like we're going to get better content moving forward with this team in place. Better, more of a cohesive cinematic universe moving forward. And that's what they're shooting for. They want everything to connect. They want all the characters and the stories to make sense from the film side of things to the TV side of things. So that makes me happy as a fan. That's all we could ever ask for is effort. Effort to put together the cinematic universe that we've been wanting to see and the care that these characters deserve. Because these are some great characters. No disrespect to Marvel, but man, the DC characters, I mean, come on. You got Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. You need to be just blowing the world away with the stories and all of the things that they can bring to the table. I mean, this is just, I mean, come on. So, I mean, it's long overdue. It's long overdue. So hopefully, things will change for the better. But I know in the midst of, this transitional period, there's going to be some things that's going to be like, I don't know what's going on. But hopefully it will all make sense. At some point, maybe sometime next year, we'll see what they're looking to do. Right now I understand that James Gunn and Peter Safran, they're going to be presenting their 10-year plan to David Zaslav. So we'll see how all of that comes to fruition. We'll see how all that plays out. Again, I'm excited. I'm a bit bummed that Cavill won't be returning, but again, I'm split on it because I understand from their end, but on the other end, I feel bad for him because he just never got a chance to be the Superman that I feel he wanted to be and that fans wanted to see as a whole. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to look at this through the lens of, saying, okay, the reboot, I feel like it was going to happen at some point. So through the years, folks, I've been having conversations with friends and family. I'm saying, you know what? They just need to reboot, start from scratch. And that's what they're doing. So I'm half and half. I feel for Cavill. I wanted to see Cavill return. I wanted to see him, get that opportunity to play Superman because I think he would have did a great job. However, the only thing about Cavill is that I don't know if he can play the Clark Kent that is needed for the James Gunn universe, because I feel like Cavill can play Superman, but Clark Kent, that's a whole nother thing. I don't know, but I still feel like he deserved the opportunity to play Superman again, but that's not the case. Even though Zack Snyder's universe wasn't my most favorite incarnation of those characters, there was a lot of great moments, and one of the greatest moments was Henry Cavill's first flight scene as Superman. It, for me, will go down as one of the most iconic scenes in pop culture history. It captured the magic that is Superman, that Christopher Reeves brought to the table back in the day. So I can always go back and watch that scene and have a smile on my face and go, that's Superman. That's the power and that's the hope that Superman brings to the big screen. So that first flight scene will always go down as one of my most favorite. But folks, that's all I have for this episode. Just wanted to share my thoughts in regards to, Henry Cavill's exit as Superman. I know there's been reports stating that, Gadot's future is up in the air, in terms of Ben Affleck Batman. I think he's done. I feel like if you're going to let Cavill go, you need to scrap it all. Now, I know I've heard, it hasn't been made official yet, that Jason Momoa will be returning to James Gunn DC Universe, but as Lobo. And that makes sense. He fits that role. Aquaman, the Lost World, will be his last time as, Aquaman. So he will be Lobo moving forward. So that's cool. But bringing everybody else back in their old roles, no. If you're going to let Cavill go, you need to do a total reboot. So that's all I have to say about this, folks. I just want to share my thoughts in regards to what's going on with Warner Brothers and everything. And again, I wish Henry Cavill the best, even though, I wish that they would have allowed him to return. I get it. You want to start with a clean slate. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's in store for the DC universe moving forward. But folks, be sure to comment below. Share your thoughts in regards to what you think about what's going on in the DC universe. Do you agree with Henry Cavill not returning as Superman? Do you wish that he still could have played Superman? What are your thoughts? How would you, proceed with the DC universe moving forward? Definitely comment below. All right, folks, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's right. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. And for those of you who have subscribed and are watching these videos and who've stuck with T's Multiverse, I truly appreciate you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Again, don't forget to hit that like button, ring that bell for all notifications so that you get each and every one of my content pieces as it drops. Also, folks, don't forget to follow me on social media. I am on Twitter as well as Instagram. And until next time, folks, be good to one another, be safe, stay tuned, and up, and away. Until next time, folks. Bye for now.